Good day, guys. Welcome to another course on Forex trading. On today's tutorial, we're going to be talking about a spread. So, we're going to be describing what a spread is and also discuss what a pip is and what a point is. All right, let's get right into it. What is a spread? A spread is a difference between the ask and the bid price. So now you most probably confused what ask price is and what a bid price is. Okay, let's talk about an ask price. Ask price is basically the price where you'll be entered when you execute a buy trade. So let's say in this chart you want to execute a buy, and when you execute a buy, your buy trade will be entered at the ask price. You understand? So it will be executed on this red line. So if you want to execute a sell, when you enter the sell trade, your price will be entered at the bid price. So that's your ask and your bid price. You understand? So you know that ask, we're talking about buying. When you talk about bid, you're talking about selling. Understand? So the difference between these two is called a spread. A spread is what your broker will charge you for every executed trade. So this spread, this price is what they split between amongst themselves, between the trader and between the broker and the banks. You understand? So yeah, this is what they will charge you, a spread. So how do you calculate the spread? You just say ask price minus bid price. In this case, our ask price is at 1.8873 and our bid price is on 1.8866. So it's going to be ask minus bid, and then you'll come up with your answer, which is 0.007. You understand? And this is quoted in Australian dollars. Why is it quoted in Australian dollars? Basically because of our price quotation is in Australian dollars. If you go back to our previous example about apples, where we talk about base currency and quoted currency, where our base currency is an apple and our quoted currency is the price at which the apple is valued. So this is also that case. Our base currency is the GBP, so now we're looking at the GBP. We want to trade the GBP, but this GBP is now quoted or valued at Australian dollars. So this is why this is quoted in Australian dollars. You understand? Okay, let's move on and talk about our pips and points. Now pips and points, basically pips and points is basically the same thing, but it's defined differently in different situations. So let's see what a pip is. You understand? Let's use the 4-digit system because our price quotation is using a 4-digit system. So what's a 4-digit system? A 4-digit system is basically when your quoted price, the price is appearing on the right hand side of your graph. So when the price has a 4 digits after the decimal, or 4 digits after the comma, it's actually a 4-digit system. Sometimes it can have 5. That's when I think it's with the Japanese yen most of the time where you see 5 digits. But just know, when you see 5 digits, it's a 5-digit quotation. When you see 4 digits after the comma, it's a 4-digit quotation. So when we're talking about pips here and points, what are we talking about? We're talking about the slightest change here. The slightest change in this number will be defined as your points, you understand? But this whole number as a whole, it's a pip, you understand? Let's see what I'm talking about here. The minimum change. So the minimum change will be your point. So let's say it's now at 6. Let's say it changes from 6. Let's say this number changes from 6 to a 7. We'll know that it moved 1 point after 6, But when you define it as a whole, this number, it's 0.0001. This entire section is a pip, but you still call it the same way. If someone asked you, let's say this 1 moves and changes to a 2 or changes to a 10, and someone asks you, how many pips did this this price move, you just say 10 pips. So it's basically the same thing, but the minimum change is 1 point and the entire digit as a whole is a pip. That's basically how we describe it. Let's take an example of let's make a clear example of the calculation of the spread. Now let's take the spread and identify it as a pip or point. Basically it means one thing. So it moved from 0, it moved 7 times, so it moved 7 points. As a whole, this thing moved 7 pips. You understand? 0.007 is 7 pips. So it's basically the same thing but used differently in different situations. So now you know that pips and points are basically the same thing, and now you know what a pip is and what a point is. Thanks for watching this tutorial. That's it for now. Good day guys, welcome to another course on Forex trading. My name is Iviwa and today we're going to simply be talking about 5-digit quotation. We did talk about this on our previous tutorial, but this is just to emphasize on it so that you get more clarity on what it's about. So as I said before, when you're talking about a 5-digit system, we're talking about a system that has 5 digits after the comma. So in this case, we talked about pips on the previous one. In this case, the pips are now on the 5th digit. On the previous tutorial, we were talking about a 4-digit system where your pips was at the last digit, which was the 4th digit of the 4-digit quotation system. Now in this case, we're using the 5-digit quotation system, so your pips will now start to count at the 5th digit. So the pips are always the last digits, the minimum change. Remember, your points are the minimum change and your pips are the entire number as a whole. So in this case, the minimum change, which is 1 point, will be this 3. You understand? So if this 3 was to change to a 4, it would have moved 1 point. You understand? But if you had to define it as an entire number, let's say it didn't have this number, it had a 0.0001, and the 1 was to change maybe 10 times or more, or maybe 2 times or more, we'd say it moved 2 pips, or it moved 10 pips. A pip is a pipette, you understand? Pipette, but people don't say pipette anymore. They just say pips. So this is basically a 5-digit quotation system, but it's still the same thing. It's still defined the same way as a 4-digit. The only difference is that it has 5 numbers, and now your pips will start counting at the last number. You understand? So let's make another example of the previous example we've made before. We're just going to add an 8 and a 3 at the end. You understand? So it's going to be the ask minus the bid, which is we're calculating the spread, and we're going to come up with an answer which is quoted in Australian dollars. So now we're going to define this in points. How many points did this thing move? It moved 65 points. If we were to talk about pips, how many pips did this thing move? Still the same thing. It's going to be moving at 65 pips. You understand? So this is the Japanese pairs that I was talking about earlier. As you can see, the other systems that can be used in terms of quotation and price quotation, you can see this one is it has 3 digits behind the comma, but it's a 5-digit system. You understand? It's a Japanese yen. You can't say this is a 4-digit or 3-digit. It's still a 5-digit system, but it's now of a Japanese yen. You understand? So yeah, that's basically it. It's been a short tutorial, just to emphasize on the previous one. So yeah, in terms of spreads and whatnot, like I said before, you need to look for brokers that have tight spreads, brokers that are gonna save you money instead of take up your money. So when you're